NFL Divisional round. It doesn't get any better than this. First things first, bang, bang, go Niners. But we're here to talk about the Rams heading to Soldier Field to take on Caleb Williams and the Chicago Bears. How's it going to go? Can the Bears pull off another playoff victory? They got their first one in 11 years. Last week against the Green Bay Packers. Look, I'm going to give you my tips, my predictions, but first, like NFL tips, subscribe to the channel. Now, where do we start? Look, let's go with the Bears and Caleb Williams. Look, it was their 7th game-winning fourth quarter drive against the Packers to win in the wild card round. They've played in 12 one-score games this season. So it pretty much leads me straight into my first pick of this game. Simple as that. It's going to be the Bears with the points. Not sure if they're going to be able to pull off another miracle, but at +3 in what's expected to be some crazy cold, maybe even blizzard weather on Sunday in Chicago. It's set to be a tight one. Look, it's going to be tough to pick this one. You've sort of, when looking at the markets and diving into some of the props, receiving props are all low, which is making everything look extremely juicy, besides Puka Nakua, of course. But look, I think this one's just going to go down to whichever team has the hottest hands, pun intended in that one. And will it be Matt Stafford, who, well, the Rams have, in my opinion, have been a little bit off at this last phase of the season. Stafford was breaking records with amount of touchdown passes without an interception, and all of a sudden, he's had 7 picks in his last 7 games. And there was a crazy one in bad weather against Carolina the last time they played before their victory in the wild card round. So it leaves things open. Chicago are the best team for interceptions. So all this story is just leading me to the conclusion that Chicago are going to keep this one close. When it comes to props, look, I'm going to take guys that are getting usage in tight situations. For the Rams, it's Colby Parkinson, was the game winner last match for them in Carolina, and he gets used a lot when Stafford needs to make quick, short throws. Obviously, being a tight end, 3+ receptions, you're getting over double your money. That is right where his season average is. So if he's getting even more usage, you should see some more targets for him and go over that. The other guy on the Chicago side of things, obviously, Loveland is the number one guy. I'm taking him for a touchdown in this one. Obviously, he's going to be the guy that Williams goes to a lot, especially in the red zone, averaging, 2 red zone targets over the last 5 matches. But when it comes to receiving yards, I like Luther Burden III. He's getting used a lot also on small screen plays and also has a yards after catch of 7.7 yards this season. Huge for the rookie. So I like him to maybe catch a short pass and maybe even bust out over his 37.5 receiving yards total in just a couple of catches. So that's it. That's pretty much where I have landed in this one. Chicago with the points is too juicy in these crazy conditions and the fact that they love one-score games. Loveland as your touchdown scorer, Luther Burden III over 37.5 receiving yards, and Colby Parkinson 3+ receptions. Just remember, gamble responsibly and happy punting.